Hello, welcome back to another half-hour video for Pokemon Gold and Silver. To date, we're going to be going for Entei, the final roaming legendary for you. That might be any of the three, Raikou or Suicune or Entei. For this method, I'll be showing you the advanced method. I'm assuming if you're watching this and you're looking for an advanced method, you already know a lot of basic things about Pokemon, how to even get them out of the burnt tower, kind of some basic things you need, and that you know about DVs and IVs and stuff like that. First of all, I strongly recommend not using this method as it's very difficult to pull off, and there are a lot of variables that go into it that can really screw things up. Now, I'll explain the first aspect of it, and I'll just put some information up on the screen real quick. This information shows you the speed stat of Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. Raikou at 97 to 109, Entei at 85 to 97, Suicune at 73 to 85. Those are very important. Whichever Pokemon you lead with the next four that I'm about to mention, need to have a higher speed stat than at least Entei. If you know you're going for a Raikou, it needs to be at least higher than Raikou's. So the next Pokemon I'm about to mention are four options that you can use. You can use a Haunter, Gengar, Golbat, or Crobat, with their speed stats being Haunter 81, 93, Gengar 93, 105, Golbat 77, 89, and Crobat 109 and 121. Now, why I say this, because it's these four Pokemon are only the few that are fast enough to learn Mean Look, which is very important to stopping the Pokemon from running away the first turn. And they have a high enough speed stat where they can outspeed, given the right circumstances, most if not all of the roaming legendaries. The thing with Haunter line, the Haunter and Gengar line, the benefits of using those two Pokemon is that they learn Hypnosis as well, albeit low accuracy, but they learn Mean Look and Hypnosis, and I'll explain that when the battle starts, why that's a benefit. Golbat and Crobat don't. Haunter to Gengar, though, you need to be able to have the ability to trade Pokemon to get Gengar. That's why, you know, there's the little issue and discrepancies with those two. Haunter with a 93 stat can only outspeed Suicune indefinitely if it's over 85. It'll be difficult with Entei and Raikou. You just gotta hope their DVs are low, or you can train some EVs into your Haunter. But you can check right here on the stats page, as long as it's above whatever your target is. If you do have a target, you'll be fine. Golbat, on the other hand, is at 89, so it can only outspeed Suicune given the right circumstances. But again, leveling up to a Crobat, it needs happiness, and that's difficult to do in this game quickly. So there are ups and there are downs, right? But both Pokemon need to know Mean Look. You can also, and this is the method I'll be doing, is that I took my level 40 Crobat, whichever Pokemon you choose, it has to be level 40 for this to work. I chose my level 40 Crobat. I lowered its health down to 28. Anything kind of in the lower ends, as long as it can really, as long as it dies from one or two moves, that's very crucial for this method to work. Also, I brought my Smeargle that I have Spore and False Swipe on. You can choose any Pokemon that you want with Spore, or you can go with the Haunter. It's up to you. You gotta kind of work towards this the same way I am, or you can go your own way. Obviously, you can eliminate the need for a Smeargle if you have a Gengar or Haunter because you have Hypnosis, but I'm kind of substituting that with a Smeargle. Obviously, your Pokemon can't be over the level of 40, and yeah, so we're going to actually move into the method. I'm going to talk a little bit more because there's a lot of stuff goes into this method to work. So I'm going to start in Critique City, the same place as always. I get pretty lucky in this area. And you can either, because we're using a level 40, you can either throw on a Repel and run back and forth like I did in the first video, the beginner level, the noob way, or you can use the Pokedex if you've already encountered one of the three Pokemon that you're going for, and you can do it like in the intermediate level way. So as you can see, Entei is not on my route. I'm going to have to go back and forth and try and find it. According to the Pokedex, Entei is on my route, right here. So I threw a Repel on, and we're going to try getting into this encounter. And there we go, we have found Entei. Easy peasy. Hardest part is actually trapping it on your route. Now, some of the things I wanted to talk about. The reason why I lowered my Crobat's HP is because Entei, like all three of the roaming legendaries, has the move Roar. Now, the way Roar works, from experience and from what I can tell, and this is just a very loose conclusion that I've gained, is that because it has a negative priority, it can use Roar at any point, right? So you're already taking a very, very major risk with hunting these, because it can roar away. You can really do nothing about Roar. If it decides to roar, that's it. For whatever reason with Suicune, it roared once and it failed. I'm not quite sure. I tried to do a bit of research, couldn't figure it out. So what we're gonna do, and the reason and like I mentioned, the reason I lowered my Crobat's HP is so that it dies quicker to Entei if it attacks, so I can switch in my Smeargle without Entei running away. Because if I use Mean Look and Entei, and then I switch into Smeargle, Entei runs away immediately. There's nothing you can do about it, because Mean Look loses the kind of effect. Obviously, with the second method that I described earlier in the previous video, you're eliminating this whole step, but albeit this is the advanced way, quotation marks. Alright, perfect. So it's going to use Ember. It should kill. It might take 2 moves. Alright, now I'm just going to Mean Look again, just to waste a turn. And what you really want it to do is to kill you as soon as possible, because the sooner it kills you, the less chance it has of using Roar. But sometimes it doesn't work. And there we go. Okay, perfect. Killed my Crobat. Now I'm going to get a free switch in without Entei fleeing. The automatic flee. Not a move, it automatically flees. So I'm going to be eliminating that fleeing with a Smeargle. Obviously the Smeargle is faster than Entei. I Spore now. It's asleep. And I'm going to use a few False Swipes. And what happens now is that it wakes up, and hopefully it doesn't use Roar, so you can Spore it back to sleep. And you just got to repeat this until it's at the HP and that you're happy with. And now with it asleep and at low HP, we're just going to spam Great Balls. And there we go. It used Roar. That's the end of that. So I'm just going to quickly find this again, set everything up. I'm just going to Master Ball it for the sake of the video. Obviously, now that it's 1 HP and you've seen it in your Pokedex, you just have to get into another counter with it, use Spore, and just go from there. Again, there's nothing you can do about it using Roar. And with that, we're just going to throw a Master Ball for the sake of the video. Obviously, you just got to keep trying with this method. If you use Ultra Balls, you're probably more likely to capture it than with Great Balls. Regardless, hopefully this helps a little bit. At least you can take some tips from it. I don't recommend doing the advanced method. You stick with the intermediate method. It's much easier. Obviously, if you use Haunter, you're skipping out on, you know, having to switch out and all. But still, it can roar at any time without really any warning. And with that, I conclude the video. Hopefully stay tuned for whatever I post next. See ya.